Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette Gil Ramirez RO dropped. Job at risk now. While Golden Bachelorette contestant Gil Ramirez's name has been dragged through the mud, his restraining order has been dropped. Sadly, the damage is already done. Not only is his reputation tarnished, but now his job is at risk. Gil Ramirez's reputation takes a blow. During Gil Ramirez's introduction to the Golden Bachelorette fans, he mentions, "I want to find someone not to grow old with, but to stay young with." He is the athletic director for Capistrano Valley High School in Orange County, K. He has been there since 2022, but was with his previous job for 21 years. While he joined the journey alongside Joan Vassos to take a second chance at love like the rest of the cast, he had no idea how his life would be turned upside down in the process. Although he entered the mansion clean-cut and dressed in a suit, his reputation took a beating after the premiere. An ex-girlfriend alleges that Gil was harassing and stalking her. Likewise, a restraining order surfaced, causing Bachelor Nation to scramble in response. Furthermore, they made extensive edits to drastically cut his airtime and future promotional appearances. Additionally, it has been a big buzz with Bachelor Nation fans who already were stirred finding out that Jen trans suitor Devin Strader had slipped through the cracks with his existing restraining order. His kids speak to his character. Despite Gil Ramirez's kids speaking highly of their dad, it has been overshadowed by a story only half told. Gil's Bachelor Nation bio describes him as the perfect combination of romantic, sweet, and emotional. In the premiere episode, Gil got a special message from his kids. First, his son is on the screen and says, "Hi Dad, I just wanted to wish you good luck on the show. I'm super glad you decided to take this leap of faith." Gil Ramirez immediately tears up with joy seeing his son on the screen, the Golden Bachelorette. Afterward, it flashes to another clip with his other son and his family. He says, "Dad, listen, we know that you are nervous. We also know that you are kind, you're smart, you're genuine, you're witty. Joan is going to see those traits immediately." Additionally, Gil has discussed on the show he is still grieving his wife. Gil Ramirez's restraining order was dropped. Amid all the uproar about Gil Ramirez's restraining order, it was easy to glaze over the fact that it has been dropped. However, Gil is getting the brunt of the damage from the blast. When Gil's ex requested the order after harassment, emotional from Gil making 25 or more attempts to reach her and her family in a 2-week time frame, she was unquestionably upset. At that point, a judge granted her request for a temporary restraining order on the same day. Ultimately, Gil's restraining order was dismissed without prejudice for lack of prosecution for a lack of service. Although the case could be refiled, it wasn't. His ex-girlfriend opted not to pursue it any further, and the restraining order was dropped. Undeniably, there are hurt feelings and grievances between Gil and his alleged ex. But does he deserve to lose his job over the issues? Gil Ramirez may lose his job. Currently, Gil Ramirez is under investigation at his job for the restraining order claims. Although the school website describes Gil's character, noting his wealth of knowledge and experience to share with coaches, athletes, and parents, it seems to be under question now. Further adding, Gil's integrity is second to none when it comes to student athletes. He encourages the coaches and athletes to always do the right and proper thing athletically, academically, and in life. Seemingly, his community is fickle after learning about the allegations. Since the news became a headline, many Capistrano Valley High School parents expressed their concern about Gil. An inside source reveals, given his job requires him to deal with kids, it seems almost certain he will be let go due to the unprofessional nature of the incident. Undoubtedly, the school administration is having to make difficult decisions about Gil's position now that there have been allegations. Reportedly, parents are pissed and urging the school to take appropriate action. Additionally, the insider adds, there hasn't been a petition or anything formal to fire him. yet. But parents have called and expressed their concerns. They want him out. Time will tell if Gil's job will weather the storm. Likewise, his reputation will need to be rebuilt after the accusations. As for now, he remains in the season since Joan Vassos gave him a rose in the third episode of The Golden Bachelorette. Gil Ramirez, the charming and suave contestant from The Golden Bachelorette, had everything going for him. At least, that's what fans thought. As a top contender for Joan Vassos' heart, he seemed to be cruising through the competition, effortlessly sweeping Joan off her feet with his good looks, easy conversation, and calm confidence. But as the season progressed, the winds of reality TV fate began to shift, revealing cracks in Gil's seemingly perfect armor. Then came the bombshell no one saw coming. Gil Ramirez was suddenly dropped from The Golden Bachelorette, and not for the reasons anyone might have expected. A revelation about his employment status, an unexpected RO removal order issued by his company, has not only cast a shadow over his time on the show, but also left his job hanging in the balance. The news has fans and contestants alike buzzing with shock, sympathy, and, of course, plenty of speculation. The rise of Gil. From the moment Gil walked into the mansion on night one, there was a sense that he was special. He wasn't just another contestant. He carried himself with the quiet dignity of a man who had lived, loved, and learned. His salt and pepper hair, chiseled jawline, and fit physique were the talk of the town. But it wasn't just his looks that had Joan intrigued. It was his mature perspective on life. Gil often spoke of his successful career as a senior executive in a well-known corporate firm. His job allowed him to travel the world, experience different cultures, and, as he liked to say, learn the art of balance in life. He hinted at having weathered many storms in both his professional and personal lives, making him someone Joan could truly connect with. In a house filled with younger competitors and those with more dramatic flair, Gil's maturity was a welcome breath of fresh air. He quickly became one of Joan's go-to men, a source of stability amid the often chaotic and emotionally charged atmosphere of the show. Their one-on-one dates seemed effortless. Whether they were talking about their favorite books or enjoying quiet moments by the sea, Joan couldn't hide the twinkle in her eye whenever she was with him. It looked like Gil was on the fast track to Joan's heart, and to a final rose. The unraveling. But then, just as viewers were settling into the idea of Gil being a frontrunner, a strange tension began to creep in. He seemed more preoccupied, distracted even, during his conversations with Joan. He was evasive when she asked about his job and future plans, and for someone who had previously been an open book, this shift was noticeable. Whispers among the other men began to circulate. Rumors spread that Gil wasn't being entirely truthful about his career. But these claims were dismissed as jealousy from his rivals. After all, in a competition for love, some contestants will do anything to knock others down a peg. It wasn't until an off-camera interview with one of Gil's former colleagues aired that the truth came to light. Gil was facing an RO from his company, a corporate equivalent of being handed a pink slip. His performance, which had been stellar for years, had taken a nosedive recently, and his company had no choice but to take action. The RO fallout. The RO wasn't just a formal document. It was a direct consequence of Gil's neglect of his professional responsibilities. Ironically, many of which he had been neglecting due to his time on The Golden Bachelorette. While the show may have painted him as a man who had it all together, his real life was unraveling at the seams. Once this news hit the airwaves, the reaction was swift. Gil was immediately pulled from the show. Producers claimed that his early exit was due to unforeseen personal matters, a vague statement that left fans scratching their heads. But insiders knew the real story. Gil's job was now at risk, and he had to prioritize that above his romantic aspirations with Joan. For Gil, the fallout was brutal. Not only was he suddenly booted from a show where he was excelling, but his company had essentially put him on notice. His career, the one aspect of his life that had always been a source of pride, was now hanging by a thread.